Hello everyone, and welcome to another Arthritis Help Movement Improvement session where you learn to move differently so you can feel better. I'm Dr. David Sofer, physical therapist, and today we're going to be talking about loosening up the stiffness in the hands and fingers. Arthritis in the hands and fingers is a very common condition. It happens more commonly with rheumatoid arthritis or rheumatic conditions, but it can certainly also be problematic with osteoarthritis or the wear and tear type of arthritis that you get in your hands. It's typified by stiffness in the fingers, sometimes pain in the joints. Sometimes you also get little bumps or nodules at the last knuckle or the second knuckle. Sometimes some migration of the thumb a little bit inward, and maybe some loss of muscle in the hand. So today we're going to work on a couple of real simple exercises just to keep the hand nice and loose and keep it free, maintain your dexterity, and make it simpler and easier for you to move your hands with comfort and finesse. And so real simple, we're going to get started. All you need to do is sit, and we're just going to check in with the hands just like we generally check in with the rest of the body. We're going to check in with the hands, and we're just going to start, just let your hands hang forward and just feel the weight of your hands. How loose can your hands be? Just feel the weight of them hanging down, and if you turn yourself palms up, you feel the weight of the hands fall down the other way. We're just going to kind of go up and down, keeping the wrists real loose and seeing the ability of your hands just to kind of feel weight of gravity pulling it down depending on the position that your hand is in. And you'll feel that when you're palm down, the fingers tend to open a little bit, and when you're palm up, the fingers tend to close a little bit. And just feel if you can maintain looseness and freedom in the hands, so that way when you palm up and palm down, gravity is just free to move the hands back and forth. And so this is just a nice little way to check in and see if we can actually maintain ease and freedom with the hands, if they can stay loose and easy. All right, simple enough. The next check-in we're going to do is we're going to take a look at finger opposition, pinching and grasping. And so all I want you to do is you're just going to rest your hand. You can either have it up in the air, you can rest it on your leg. I like to have something to support the hand so I don't have to worry about holding the weight of the arm. And we're just going to make like a pinch position with the index finger and the thumb. And we're going to do it very slowly, very gently, and just tap the tips of the index finger and the thumb together and then open. Quite simple. Just tap, and we don't want to press. Even if they don't come together, what if you left a little bit of space? That's fine. Or they just touch, feather touch, and they open up. And then you're going to do the same thing a few times with the middle finger and the thumb. And what I want you to get a sense of is how the fingers travel to meet each other. Does the thumb travel toward the middle finger? Does the middle finger travel toward the thumb? Or does one stay in place and the other like to do the lion's share of the moving? I also want you to get a sense of the resistance, or how difficult it is to bring the fingers together, and the resistance to bring it apart. Now, you may be able to push against that resistance and open fully, and that's fine, but I want you to really slow down and move smaller and try to perceive the resistance, that first level of resistance when the fingers open up, and that ability to close. Beautiful. We're going to go now to the fourth finger, the ring finger. Give a little tap and open, and a little tap and open, and just see how easily and how simply that can happen, and where there might be resistance, how easily the fingers open, how easily they close. And then finally we're going to go thumb to pinky, which can be tricky sometimes, and we're just going to see, where does the hand want to move easily? Can we move individually and simply? Good. Well done. From there, we're just going to take it and now do a two-finger tap. So we're going to be tapping the thumb to the index and middle finger together. Can we get all three of those fingers to tap and come away? And to just tap, not pinch, not press, just gently tap, feeling for how easily it is to move and that path of movement. And then we're going to move on to the ring and middle finger together and feel those two and that ability to tap and open. And it's nice to just take a moment and kind of feel and kind of get inside a simple movement, a movement that we do all the time, and just take time to appreciate our ability to move and what our patterns are, and really the marvel that is the dexterity of the hand. And we're going to tap and open and tap. We're gonna go the pinky and the ring finger now together and see if we can move those two together and in and out. Good. And notice for what your pattern is and how easily you come together or come apart. Good. We're going to relax. Now we're going to try two fingers together. We're going to try the middle finger and, the ring finger and the index finger together, come together. So we're leaving the pinky and the middle finger out of it. And can we figure out how to move with dexterity just those three fingers together, slowly and smoothly, and feeling the journey of the fingers coming together, not forcing them together, just feeling how they move. And then we're going to do the pinky and middle finger together and see how those two come together. That's a tricky one, right? And if they don't come together, don't push, don't force, don't make it happen. Just see where you get the difficulty and come away. I find a little difficulty when I get, about a 1/4 inch away, and then I'm just going to leave. Otherwise, I start to strain. Nice and easily, and see, can I find, there we go. Can I find an easier way to bring them together and apart? Nice and slow, good, and relax, shake it out. All right, so that was the check-in, just kind of seeing what our baseline dexterity is and that baseline resistance to close and open the hand, and everyone is different, so wherever you are, that's fine. We just begin where we are, no issues there. All right, so now we're just gonna warm the hand up, a little bit of rub together. You can even rub on the back of the hand and the forearm just to keep things nice and warm. And generally, with any arthritic conditions of the hand, warmth is soothing. So a warm immersion soak or hot paraffin wax is great, or a hot pack. Any of those things will help to loosen up the hand, but even a little bit of hand rubbing together just to get some heat and stimulation into that limb is helpful. Okay, so now you're going to take that hand that you're working on. I'm going to work on my right hand. You work on either one that you want to try. And you're just going to rest that hand down on your knee. And you're going to feel the contour of your hand and how it wraps around your knee. It should kind of sit on that knee pretty easily and just wrap itself around. And then you're going to take your other hand and you're going to just start at the base of the thumb, and you're just going to put a little pressure down into the base of the thumb and pressure down and kind of roll down to the thumb. And the goal is not to press so hard, but it's to see if you can get your thumb to make full contact onto the surface. In this case, for me, it's the thigh and the knee. And can you get that thumb to be soft and supple so it just kind of lays down like water, just kind of conforms to the surface that it's on, nice and easily. Now, if the hand that you're using to massage is painful and that doesn't work, you can take something like a tennis ball and you can just use that to push through. As long as it's comfortable, it should be firm enough that you can get some pressure through it, but comfortable enough, soft enough that it's not creating discomfort or pain in the hand that you're massaging. So you can always do that if you're having discomfort, but I'm going to just use my hand right here. And so we're going to go forward from that base of the thumb forward, and then I'm going to move next to the index finger, and I'm not going to start at the knuckle of the finger, but I'm going to start at the wrist, where the wrist meets the hand, and I'm going to trace that line where the wrist meets the hand all the way over and then down the hand. I'm going to use kind of a nice broad pressure to go over that finger. If I use a small pressure like one finger, it gets a little pokey and it can be real uncomfortable over sensitive areas. So use 3 fingers or 4 fingers, a broad pressure to come over that finger and let it conform its way down. Just like that, nice and easy. Now we're going to move over to the middle finger, and that finger extends and doesn't stop at the knuckle. It actually extends all the way down to about the middle of the hand. So we're going to start right at the wrist, where the wrist meets the hand, and just trace that line up the back of the hand into the 3rd finger and then down, just getting enough pressure to conform that hand, let it stick down to the surface. The reason that we start way back here at the wrist is because all of the muscles that control extension of the fingers actually start at the forearm, and as they come down to the wrist, they turn into tendons, which attach the bones to move the fingers. So if we want to massage the entire tendon, we have to start right down here at the wrist. If we start up here, we miss out on a big bulk of the tendon that helps to move the fingers. And again, if you get over any sensitive areas or particularly tender joints, just press a little lighter, go gentle, do whatever makes you comfortable and happy. Remember rule number one. What's rule number one? Always be kind to yourself in all ways, okay? So don't push yourself into pain. Don't do anything that hurts. This is about promoting ease and comfort. I'm going to move over to the fourth finger now as we massage it down and let it stick down to the surface. Good. And so as we do this, we're getting softness in the fingers, and we're also getting stimulation to the hand, which helps to kind of liven up some of the sensory nerves and maybe even some of the muscles around in the hand, the small muscles. I'm moving over to the pinky, getting to that base where the wrist meets the hand, and then just massaging all the way down with a nice broad flat stroke, not even just using the tips of my fingers, but my whole finger, even the palm of my hand getting involved, rolling down, smoothing down. And after we've done individual fingers, I like to put it all together by just kind of using the whole hand. And now instead of being individual, I want to get broad. I want to see if I can get all of the fingers together, or the thumb and a bunch of fingers, just feeling like we're just putting all of that individual nature together to conform to find one comfortable loose hand. Beautiful. Relax, shake it out. We'll let the hand turn over, back and forth, and just feel the heaviness and the mobility of the hand as we go. Good. Now we're going to lay the hand down on your leg just like this, and you're going to feel that as it rests right here, there's a tendency for the fingers to bend a little bit, and that's totally normal. There is some tone in the muscles that bend the fingers right up here in the forearm muscles, and that creates a comfortable bend of the fingers. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of massage that out and stretch it out. So we're going to start this time at the pinky side, right where the wrist meets the hand. We're going to go over that bulk of the pinky muscles of the palm, and then we're going to press through and then open that pinky up and feel that ability to smooth out, almost like we're ironing out the pinky onto your leg. Okay, nice and comfortable, again using broad, comfortable pressure, not individual pressure, right? And if it hurts to use that massaging hand, you can use a tool like a tennis ball just to help yourself run over that hand nice and easy. And it's okay if the friction is uncomfortable for you. You can use a little bit of hand lotion just to smooth this out, and you get a little moisturizing in there, so that's a double win. Okay, now we're going to move and really focus through that ring finger, starting at the wrist, and focus on that ring finger and move our way up and feel that ability for it to open. Don't try to bend the finger backwards over the knee. That's a little bit excessive, right? You just want to open it up as much as it can go. If it can find its way flat down toward the knee, that's great. I don't expect it to stay there. It's going to pop back up after you're done, but you just keep on massaging it down. Good. And now I'm moving over to the middle finger. Good, nice broad smooth strokes. And then I'm going to go over to the index finger. And if you find that there's a finger that's interesting for you, by all means, stay there and explore it. Spend time where you feel like your body needs it. If you find something interesting, be curious. Continue to explore or kind of work through whatever you find within yourself. This is about your own personal self-discovery, not about mimicking me or anybody else. Good. Now, as we go to the thumb, it's going to be a little bit different, okay? When we go to the thumb, some people, their thumbs tend to almost migrate inward, and they lose that broadness or opening of the palm, and that can create or exacerbate osteoarthritis in some of the joints at the base of the thumb, what we call the CMC joint or the MCP joint here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on the pinky side, and we're going to massage across the base of the hand and feel that you can open the thumb, almost that we're pushing that bulky part of the thumb muscle down and opening the hand. As you do this, the forearm might turn. That's okay as long as it's comfortable for you. And don't even worry about the thumb itself at first. Just think about massaging through to broaden or open the space of your palm from kind of pinky muscles to thumb muscles right here. And we're going to get that nice broad opening, and as you feel your ability to open the thumb, then we can finish with a little bit of a flourish down the whole thumb, but always thinking about opening the position of the thumb and broadening the hand, because that position of the thumb is really the foundation for how the thumb works. And if we can change it to a nice open, broad palm, the thumb works a lot more efficiently and with a lot less strain through those muscles. Good. Now that we've done all the fingers individually, we're going to open them all up together. We're just going to put it all together. So feel that you're opening the entire hand as you massage through. And you can even get that thumb involved. And we're just kind of massaging our way through. If you want to even start a little higher up at the forearm, you can do that. Whatever feels nice and pleasant for you. And then relax, and you'll see that after that, your fingers still bend, but they don't really bend as much as they did before because we've kind of opened up these muscles and relaxed them. You might even see some reddening or blushing of the hand. That's just blood flow going through, and that's great. And then we're just going to relax, shake it out. We can do our kind of over and back and feel, do the fingers feel a little bit looser? Are they a little bit less compelled to pop in? Do they open a little bit more when you are palm down? Do they close a little bit less when you're palm up? And just get a feel for the heaviness and the weight in the hand. Beautiful. Okay, we've got one more thing we're going to work on, and this is one of my favorite hand exercises, and we're going to start working on the spread of the hand, so the ability for the fingers to move out. And people don't really think about how much they can open their fingers too much, and we don't get a lot of stimulation into this web space of the fingers, but the finger's ability to move from side to side really impacts the ability to use grip and grasp and pinch and all these things. So we're going to give it some attention today. So all we're going to do is we're going to start with the index finger and middle finger, and we're just going to kind of let it sit maybe at the base of the thumb on the other side, and you're just going to let that web space fit right into the space of the thumb. And we're just going to kind of massage through just by pushing or pressing gently and feeling that ability to kind of move from the base of your thumb to the end of your thumb, which is going to splay or split the middle finger and the index finger. Now, if that's simple for you, we're going to move a little further up the forearm, and since it's a little thicker up your forearm, it's going to create a little bit more splay between the middle finger and the index finger, right, which is going to cause to find a little bit more mobility. So only do this if it's comfortable for you, and you can moderate where on your forearm you want to go to get how much motion for the fingers away from each other, and just work through that. Don't try to push, don't try to make the fingers fall apart. Just go to where you can comfortably and just massage that web space as you go forward. You can even open up your hand a little bit and work down this part of the forearm if that's more comfortable for you, whatever feels best. Nice and easy. If the friction is uncomfortable, a little bit of lotion just to kind of grease the wheels a little bit. And then we're going to go to the ring and middle finger, and we're just going to find that position and work our way down. Nice and easy wherever it is. If you are comfortable just through here and going further is uncomfortable for you, then this is where you work. The idea is just to get some splaying of the fingers and really some stimulation into that inside track of the middle finger and the ring finger and into that web space. Just getting some feedback and stimulation there is really nice. And then we're going to go to the ring and pinky, and we're going to go down the base of the forearm into the thumb. And again, this may be, different mobility in different areas of the hand, so just work with what works for you. If you can do a little more with two fingers but a little less with the other two fingers, that's fine. The anatomy is different, our tolerances are different, just work with what you have. Slow and smooth, and it should almost feel like a massage of your fingers and of your opposite forearm actually as you go. Good. And now we're going to go to the thumb and index finger, and that's of course a larger spread here than there is through the fingers. So I'm going to go kind of with the thicker part of my forearm as I come down, just to get a little bit of pressure and stimulation through the nice web space here. I don't want to neglect the thumb and the fingers. All right, and still feeling for that broad palm as you go through. Nice and easy. And now you should just feel almost like the hand is almost a little bit larger, a little bit bigger, that you can spread your fingers a little bit more. And we'll just go up and down and shake it out and just feel for that looseness or freedom of the fingers to be able to move back and forth and up and down. And then we're gonna do a final check-in here, and we're just gonna see how are you able to bring fingertip to thumb, okay? Feeling for the ease and the freedom and the control to go to each finger. Do they meet each other in the middle? The things that were a little bit tougher before, are they a little bit easier than they were? Just playing with the different variations that we went with before. And hopefully now you feel just almost like a more open, looser, freer hand. Okay, you do the same exact thing, you repeat it with the other hand, you go through the same exact series, and you should feel that same benefit on both sides. I like these exercises because you can do them anywhere, anytime. You don't have to do the whole series, you can just do whatever piece maybe makes you feel best, so do what works for you. But it's a nice anywhere, anytime type of exercise, and it just really helps to improve mobility and stimulation through the hands and fingers. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and thank yourselves for taking the time to do something good for you. It is not easy, and it is worthy of your appreciation. Join me next week with a whole new video where you learn how to move differently so you can feel better, and you can check out my website, www.arthritishelp.info, to see my entire library of videos and articles on how to help your arthritis pain. I will see you guys all next week. Thanks so much.